Tonight, flooding emergency on the Gold Coast as an unexpected deluge dumps up to half a metre of rain on already saturated ground. Campers rescued as water swallows their campsites, and now a chilling warning, even when the rain stops, rivers will keep rising. Australia's Princess Mary to become Queen of Denmark after a shock abdication. A world champion charged over the death of his Olympian wife in a crash that's numbed Australia's cycling community. David Warner drops another bombshell as he prepares for the pink test. And brawls, storms, celebrations and fireworks, Queensland's wild send-off for 2023.
Live from Brisbane, 7 News with Samantha Heathwood.
Good evening. A week after the Christmas tornado, another weather emergency is threatening the southeast. Up to half a metre of rain has smashed parts of the Gold Coast, flooding roads and homes. Dozens of people have been rescued.
Surrounded and trapped by floodwaters, campers face the powerful result of relentless rain.
What happened, buddy?
All the way down there.
What the
Josh Northeast woke to his sister's tent missing at the Numinbah Valley Bush Camp. Maddie was still inside when she was swept 40 metres away before being wedged in a tree.
Screaming, and then the neighbours cut me out with an axe and monkey gripped me out of the tent.
The creek bed burst its banks in the early hours of the morning.
That's our exit right there.
Knee-deep water rising rapidly.
That has come up in like half an hour, if that. That is just ridiculous.
Washing away camping gear and supplies.
There goes our barbecue sauce.
Hugging it out, then waiting it out on the roof of their cars with a blow-up mattress on standby. This is not how they pictured spending New Year's Day. Then the welcome sight of swiftwater crews.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Thanks for coming.
All 14 campers rescued and taken to higher ground as large parts of the Gold Coast went underwater. The amount of rain staggering, 480 millimetres was recorded in Currumbin Creek in 24 hours. In the hinterland, in excess of 200 millimetres. At Tambourine Mountain, it was spilling over everywhere, a main road turning into a raging river.
We're losing what we've tried to save as well, so yeah, it's another kick.
Tanya King's makeshift repairs from the Christmas Day tornado in tatters.
27 years we've been here and we've put our heart and soul into this house. To watch it just crumble is heartbreaking.
The heartbreak on street after street.
We're just waiting for someone to come and pick this baby up. But I couldn't get a crane big enough.
The water rushing through Oxenford Weir.
We're just thinking about we just keep getting hit.
Roofs that were damaged in the Christmas Day tornado are now leaking on New Year's Day flooding.
Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking.
David and Julie Gavin's home is now a dripping mess. After a scary night, sheltering in their car.
We're homeless at the moment. We can't stay here, it's unsafe. Yeah, we're going up to my sister's to stay.
What we could out of the house.
The SES receiving 500 calls for help.
We've had emergency services rescuing people from those cars.
At service stations, there were long lines for petrol to run generators with widespread outages.
Energex are out there trying to restore more power to the houses. The number's now down to 6,956.
But from mid-morning, they've advised me as the State Disaster Coordinator that they've had to stand their crews down due to the dangerous conditions.
Tourism hotspots swamped with Whitewater World and Movie World closed.
We're travelling from India for Gold Coast and the parks are closed.
The new year starting how 2023 ended.
Mentally it's been challenging, 6 days without power.
Bring on 2025.
At the mercy of wild weather. Extra teams are coming in from over the border to help, and the state government is considering asking the Australian Defence Force to assist because this weather event is not over yet. The Gold Coast has been warned to expect up to 250 millimetres of rain in 24 hours, and so much water has already fallen in creeks and rivers. They are saturated, and we're being warned there could be rapid rises if we do see more bursts of torrential rain. Gold Coast evacuation centres have now opened with so many homes unlivable after first the Christmas Day tornado and now this.
Michelle Jensen at Oxenford, thank you. Well, to Ned Balm and the Gold Coast northern suburbs have also been hit hard.
Yeah, they certainly have, Sam. Rescue crews, swiftwater rescue crews responded to a number of calls here in Pimpama and in Helensvale for vehicles being stranded in floodwaters. And just hours ago, they rescued a man in his 50s from a car in Luscombe. It's understood he was in his own car on his own property when it rolled down the driveway and into floodwaters, becoming fully inundated. Now, emergency services tonight are warning and pleading with people to not drive unless it is absolutely necessary. That will allow them to get exactly where they need to be in an area that has already felt the wrath of Mother Nature over the past week. Mother Nature, unrelenting and unforgiving. This has been Charles Avery's reality since his Helensvale home was ripped apart by the tornado on Christmas night.
I'm feeling dead. We just sort of keep going.
An unwelcome start to the new year, the 82-year-old's makeshift tarp roof failing, the pressure of hundreds of millimetres of rain proving too much. He now hopes his home can be demolished and rebuilt.
We've spent so much money over the years improving everything. It's a magic place to us.
The downpour also bringing rising rivers, creeks and raging torrents. The fast-moving floods bringing dangerous conditions. This motorist in Clagrabah stranded on his roof watching as flood water flowed past.
We've had multiple cars in water with people stuck on the roofs in different locations. We've had people rescued from a campsite.
A TransLink bus parked on Helensvale Road totaled as heavy rainfall brought water up to the passenger door. This truck in Pimpama meeting a similar fate. Swiftwater rescue crews geared up and waded out to reach the stranded vehicle.
We've had multiple Swiftwater crews out there conducting rescues from early morning until now.
The condition of the roads after consecutive days of heavy rain blamed for some of these incidents, but not all.
A car only gets stuck in floodwaters if they're driving through that, so that's what we're asking people, just do not drive through.
Even some of the biggest roads were hit by the deluge, the Pacific Motorway living up to the name as cars were brought to a crawl. Logan was also lashed by the storm. In Wolfdean, this caravan had to be pulled from the Albert River with attempts to retrieve it failing before it was successfully brought back to the road.
Did you see it? Yeah, look. I'm like a cat with 9 lives, baby. Probably got 4 left.
The Queensland spirit surviving in the face of disaster. Ned Balm, 7 News.
Now to Jordan Quinn at Nerang. Jordan, inland residents are bracing for more rain.
Sam, the main concern in the hinterland is water rushing into homes. More than 50 residents have contacted council for sandbags after experiencing flash flooding. Around 200 millimetres fell on Tambourine Mountain today, with more heavy rain expected to continue tomorrow. Many homes are still without power after the Christmas Day tornado. Energex was to have power reconnected to all residents by the 5th of January. This rain event will now delay that even further. Generators have been placed in key locations to keep infrastructure running. Several main roads remain cut, which makes it hard for crews to access.
At Nerang, thank you. Well, Liam Bland, there are flood warnings in place right across the Gold Coast.
Sam, water flowing down from the hinterland is adding to the region's already saturated rivers and creeks. The Albert River near Yatala is already at a minor flood level. It's expected to reach moderate flood markers this evening. The Weather Bureau is also watching the Nerang and Coomera catchment. It's had 350 millimetres of rain in 24 hours. Flood warnings are in place for creeks and rivers at Pimpama, Coomera, Nerang, Mudraba, Talabudra and Currumbin, areas which have been inundated and where water levels are still rising.
Liam, thank you. Well, let's bring in Tony Auden now. And where is the heaviest rain at the moment?
Well, Sam, for now, steady rain pretty much right across the southeast, with the most intense areas building again by the Bayside this evening. Another spike in intensity is expected from this evening, likely lasting through the night and much of tomorrow. In that time, as we've heard, further falls up around 250 millimetres are possible. Now, the tricky thing, this is still not being well forecast because it's not being picked up well by the forecast models. Here, one of those models shows the expected rain totals closer to 50 millimetres rather than 250. It looks pretty wrong to me. We don't have any strong surface weather features to track, but we can take some confidence that once the upper trough driving it all clears away, that's when the winds on the map here turn from northerly around to westerlies. That will be late tomorrow into the early parts of Wednesday morning. Well, then the rain should ease. Sam, I'll be